Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to go over my Zwift setup. So the first thing, I would have to say the most important thing about having a Zwift setup is your smart trainer. I have the Wahoo KICKR. This thing's not cheap either. It's 1,200 bucks. Basically the best one you can get. You can get away with probably getting one for maybe $500–600, but if you're going to get into Zwift racing, the better the trainer, the better the experience is going to be. That's just my personal opinion of what I think. This is the only trainer I've ever had, so all I got to say is I love it, and I'll just leave it at that. First thing I noticed is if you're anything like me, as soon as you put feet to pedals, I turn into a shower sprinkler. You know, basically I sweat so bad, so I bought this little deflector right here. It just wraps around the handlebars and around the seat post, and it keeps all the sweat and salt out of your headset. And most of the time it hits right about here and it bounces off to each side, you know, so you're not getting too much of it down into your bottom bracket. Just want to let you know, everything I talk about here are things that I've bought on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description down below for everything I talk about here. So then the next thing I had to buy was a mat for catching sweat. I have a laminate floor here, as you can see, and then I just bought this mat here. It's 3 feet by 6 feet or something like that. Works out really, really, really nice. I mean, because I wiped all the sweat up before I did this video, because it just, you know, I sweat like a pig and it just looks disgusting underneath me. So you got to have one of them. Another really big thing is I contaminated my front rotor on my disc brakes, so I always use a clean towel and wrap that around my rotor, just so I don't get sweat on that. When I get out of the saddle and sprint, sweat just goes everywhere. I also bought a little block for the front tire that brings it up about, I don't know, 2 inches or so. It's just so I'm not so leaned over, you know, because one thing about Zwift racing is you don't have to be aero at all. So it's just a little more comfortable, lifting my front end up a little bit. I could do that actually with the trainer. It has adjustments here, but when both tires are on the ground, it's perfectly flat the way it's supposed to be. An absolute must is a powerful fan. You gotta have a powerful fan. This one, I don't remember how much it cost. It wasn't very expensive, maybe 20, 25, 30 bucks. I know, like I said, I'll leave a link in the description below for everything. The only thing I wish I would have done with this fan was get a remote with it, so you don't have to get off the bike. You know, because sometimes when it's cold out, you know, because most of the racing is done in the winter months, you know, you're turning it up, turning it off, getting on. Having a remote, you know, I wish I would have spent the extra 10, 15 bucks, whatever it is, and bought a fan like this with a remote on it. Okay, so I have a little power supply right here. It has little USB ports, and then one goes to my phone right here, and I have my phone sitting on top of my mount, and then it's strapped down with these little straps. I'll go over that in 1 second, because this is like the coolest thing of the whole setup. Then I just run an iPad. It's the 9-incher, 10-incher, you know, and that's plugged in right here, and that runs back around and plugs in over here. And what's really cool about this, let me shut this off, is this case for this. So it's the kind of case that unfolds, so you can stand it up like this. You can stand it up like this when you're sitting at like a table, so it's just kind of up a little bit. And then, I mean, I went through a lot of things to try to figure out how to get this thing in front of me. You know, I had like a little table set up here with like a little platform that came out, and then I figured out I could just wrap this up, and then I have a little tripod here, and it has a little clamp here that I use for my phone when I'm doing videos. You can just clamp your phone in there, but I can just stick the iPad case right in there like that. It's super easy works super efficient. It's out of the way. And then I can stick it right next to the front wheel too, so I can get it a little closer to me. But for all my power-ups and everything, I just use this button here. Basically, I'm just using the iPad here just to look at, you know, and then I got my big TV sitting over there, and, you know, remotes and a table right here. Gotta have some towels and stuff laying around, and then my water bottles right here. Okay, this is the coolest thing right here. Take this off. So this little piece of rubber here is what I originally bought when I got into cycling. It was to strap my phone to my handlebars on my mountain bike so I could run Strava and then look at the segments and stuff like that with this. This is probably the coolest thing that I've bought in a long time. So I'll have to try to find where I bought this from, and I'll definitely leave a link to the description below, because you can wrap this right around handlebars like this and then go around like cables and stuff to figure out how you want it to sit. And I've never had my phone come loose from it. It holds on pretty well. So this is pretty cool. But like I said, I have it just strapped onto my Wahoo mount here, so it doesn't go anywhere. All right, so this is my Zwift setup for now. Next year, I'll probably get, instead of using the iPad here, I'll probably end up getting like a big TV and a speaker system, because that's just going to be the super cool thing to do. So I'll probably do that next year. We're coming into midsummer, so I don't even know how much more I'm going to be Zwifting other than when it's raining out, and that'll probably be about it. So the rest of that can wait until next fall, you know, when I can really trick it out and make it how I want. But this is basically the bare bottoms of what you need. And I would have to say, like I said, the most where you're going to spend most of your money is definitely, I would spend the money on the trainer. That's the most important part. That's going to make your ride feel the most realistic and, you know, have the most enjoyment about being on Zwift or whatever racing platform or riding platform you're going to go on. All right, well, thanks for checking out my Zwift setup. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. All right, take care. Peace.